Hello, everyone.
Hi!
It looks like we're in like we have our own YouTube channel.
It looks like you guys are like one of those like relationship vloggers, but it's like the ones where it's like
I haven't even taken my
sorry
shoes
to
off.
tell you this, but Elise is leaving the channel because we broke up.
Yeah, we're about to have like an apology video or something.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Maury and I just ran here. So
yeah.
Don't worry. I got back from my vacation. I went to go visit my girlfriend. I haven't seen them in like 6 months. And then I immediately had to go into work, and now I'm here.
You threw the cat.
Sorry, you didn't say
like
that.
Violence in
Thank
this
you.
room.
Anyways.
Hello.
Hi, y'all. This is our book club discussion for Rewind Book Club. I think this is probably, I'm going to guess it's going to be most of our favorite books. I don't know what you thought of The Lightning Thief, but this is for The Lightning Thief. There was an optional little mini readathon to finish reading the entire Percy Jackson, the Olympian series. I don't think any of us did. I got so close. I finished I had like 100 pages left, or maybe like
I had 100 pages left of the fourth book.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I finished the first book, and then I didn't.
And that's okay. That's cool.
All progress is good progress.
But we finished the book, so that's what counts. Yes. But yeah, I think we'll do what we usually do. We can go around and say, I guess our names and what we rated the book, and also I put it on the thumbnail. But we'll also just say, if you were just happen to be a demigod, who would your cabin be? Godly parent be? But yeah, so you want to start?
I'm so used to looking at you on the camera instead of on her next.
So this is my second time reading Percy Jackson. I read it when I was in middle school, and I haven't touched it since. It was a lovely 5-star reread. I was so worried it was going to be not like up to my memories, but it was wonderful. I now only want to read Rick Riordan. And I said Hades would be my cabin 13, I think it is, or 11, or 13. 13.
Yeah, checking the thingy about her. Should I
go ahead?
Okay, I'm Mori. I have a Twitter and Instagram under Memento Mori VV. That's about it. This is my second time reading the first book.
Sorry.
This is my second time reading the first book. I don't remember when I first read it, but I kind of stopped at the second book because I got mad at Poseidon. He's the worst.
Oh yeah.
But mine would be, I guess, I'd be under Hades and Cabin 13 as well, just because I like Hades in Hades Town. Musical nerd. So yeah, that's about it for me. So warm from running.
Same.
I'm Andy. This is like my 50th time reading the Percy Jackson series because this was like, not to include the book that must not be named, but like this was my like
I
got me into reading. I just thought it was awesome and more interesting. This time around I did rate it 4 stars. I used to rate it 5 stars. Yeah, I know. I actually reread this last year, like 2020, over the summer, and I was just like plowing through it just to plow through it. But now that I've taken the time to read it, I'm like, no, I think it's a solid 4 stars. And yeah, and on the thumbnail it says Hermes cabin bitches, let's go, jack of all trades, master of none, gang.
Wait, Andy, I'm curious. What did you think of the other books as you've been rereading them? I know you only made it till like 3.5.
Shout out to book 3, best book in the series. Fuck Nico.
Stars.
Fuck Nico. Fuck that kid. I hate him.
Oh, I'm gonna
shout out to book 2, worst book in the series.
Okay, no. So far I've given every single book 5 stars except the third book. The third book I gave 4 stars.
No, shout out to book 3. Actually, no, I lied. Shout out to book 5, best book in the series. Shout out to book 3, second best.
I was a little worried Nico was going to be a brat, but Nico was still the best character, and I don't
No, he wasn't. You're a liar.
No, he literally was. What are you talking about?
I hate him.
Why?
He's the worst. He's a little bitch boy. He cries all the damn time. So do I. I get it. You're gay. You're depressed. You have daddy issues. So do I. Like, you ain't special. I don't get I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm killing Elise right now. Elise is crying and shitting.
Okay, sorry. We'll start talking about this. Let's start talking about the Lightning Thief. Lightning Thief soon. But excuse you, Nico was so bright and full of life. His first introduction, he was into card games. He was so cute. He was a
Lily
bundle of
agrees.
joy. Oh, hi, Lily. Okay.
Listen, I'm a real man. I'm into real card games, not your mytho magic. I play Magic the Gathering.
No. Nico's lovely, and then his heart was broken because of Percy Jackson. I mean,
Percy did nothing.
yeah, but Nico was a little baby, and he didn't. Lily, congrats on winning.
Happen. Tag us on Twitter.
That's so awesome. I was literally thinking, I was like, if I did anything for Halloween, I think Nico would be the costume. I literally have, oh my gosh, one of those like secondhand apps like Depop or something. There's this like jacket that looks like Nico D'Angelo that I keep eyeing.
I said you should get it.
I know, I showed more and more. I was like, you should get it.
Yes,
but
it was a good price.
Yeah. Anyways, so far Lily is the best and Andy can leave. But I guess we could talk about the Lightning Thief now.
Oh goodness.
Any thoughts?
I have thoughts. So I have obviously I have notes. That's what I do here is I go through my notes. My first note for this was let's go gays because it was like my book notes. Let's go gays. And I also said this will probably be my most thorough notes of the year, and it ended up being because I went chapter by chapter. Because here's the thing, I obviously have a ton of nostalgia for these books, like so much nostalgia. But I tried to be as objective as I could because even the things we love deserve criticism, right? Nothing is above criticism, and we should be willing and accepting of criticism for our favorite things. So I will say I did my best. Whether or not I am objective is entirely up to you guys. Like, I think I was, but I could be wrong. I could still be, subjective. Chapter 1. I said this one was Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girl Boss.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I was going to say, am I wrong though? Because the entire chapter is them being like, Percy, you're like fucking crazy, bro. Like, Mrs. Jaws. Which honestly, if somebody was doing that to me, I would just be like, I am insane. I'm going crazy.
I'm suspicious of everybody. I would also be concerned.
Yeah. Shout out to Grover for fucking that shit up and not being able to commit to the bit, you know?
Grover's so good as a character. Just Grover appreciation. You sound like someone who would hate Grover just for fun.
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, he was cool. I just hate Nico.
I'm just gonna hide.
I think I'm leaning into it more because I know Elise is gonna get more and more upset, and I'm so sorry about that.
No, every single line that Nico D'Angelo has, I'm just like, yeah, that hurts. That sums it up for the entire book. I remember because, Andy, how many other? Did you read all of Heroes of Olympus?
Yeah, I did.
Did you read all of the
House of Hades? I did. Oh, no, I haven't read the Trials of Apollo. Don't spoil shit. I only read the first book.
I only read the first book. No, literally when Blood of Olympus came out, I saw Rick Riordan speak for that. So I have like a signed copy. But I was so excited because Nico D'Angelo has a chapter, has a point of view in that book. So I bookmarked every single moment that Nico D'Angelo's name was mentioned. Every single time Nico's name was on the page, I put a little yellow, or I think it was an orange Post-it note every single time. And that was 8th grade me.
Do I need to be concerned for you? Were in 8th grade when that book dropped? I was in high school.
Yeah, because I think it was 2013.
Yeah, it was some shit like that. Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, Lightning Thief.
Lightning Thief. Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We're going through this chapter by chapter, friends.
Don't apologize.
Chapter 2.
Wait,
I am here for it. Do you need
no, I'm just saying.
Chapter 2. They never explained who Mrs. Kerr is outside of her being the math teacher now. Obviously they needed to immediately install somebody to be the math teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was she a nymph that Chiron got to be okay, you're a math teacher now, just get in there? An older demigod? Never explained. That's a plot hole in my eyes.
Okay.
So it's never explained in the books either. It's just
It's just, yeah, she's just there. She's just suddenly there. And I'm just like, I know the mist can do a lot of things, but I don't think you can fabricate an entire person whole cloth with not another person being there.
Yeah.
It's
Andy,
Twitter talk.
Twitter talk.
My mind is powerful. Grover's business card should be more dyslexic friendly. Because Percy was like, it's written in like a script that's very hard for me to read. The man is working with demigods, who most of them are dyslexic, should have dyslexic friendly font.
Yes.
This book also had the opportunity in the early 20s to be like a mainstream book to be printed entirely in dyslexic friendly font, and it wasn't.
Oh, that would have been a great publishing move.
That would have been. And they didn't.
With all the special editions that are out now for it.
You would think.
One would at least, of course, it'd be priced higher, but...
Honestly, I know Percy Jackson is an incredibly popular series, but I'm surprised it didn't reach, the book that shall not be named level popularity.
I think it's because the book will not be named had only 4 places for children to go, where this one had upwards of 12 at the beginning and then dozens more afterwards. So it's difficult to make merch for 12 different things and be able to price which ones are the more popular ones, because obviously the big 3 is going to be up there, and then maybe Apollo and stuff, but obviously Hermes kids are not going to get a shit ton of merch. Whereas if you have 4 things, you can be this one will get the most, this one will get the second most, and the other 2 will get the third most equally.
I know. It's just okay. Sorry to keep mentioning Harry Potter. I did not was not a Harry Potter kid. I didn't like those books, and I tried to read them for the first time a couple years ago before all of the JK controversy, or at least before I was aware of that. And I did not like them, so I kept that to myself because I knew I'd be slaughtered. Now it's cool to hate Harry Potter, but I just never genuinely liked them, because when I read them as an adult, I was like, this writing is really not good. But when I read Percy Jackson as an adult, I just didn't get that feeling the writing was bad. I just feel it's objectively better. But anyways.
Amen. Chapter 3, Justice for Sally Jackson. I know she gets, everything gets better for her in later books, but this book, I was just she went through, such a powerful woman, went through so much shit. And for what? And for what? Also, in this one, I was I think the gods should pay child support. Maury and I talked about this. At least we sent TikToks about it to each other. But I think they're gods. They are gods.
Who?
They have limitless resources.
Yes.
I think you can throw a couple of gold coins at your kid, every couple of months or so, at least on their birthdays, to take care of school supplies, roof over their head.
They would totally get away with tax evasion.
Gods should be paying child support. Also, I really like that in these books, satyrs in general have this noble protector, protector of demigods, protector of nature thing going on. Whereas in real Greek mythology, they were just weird horny men, little horny goat men.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so not to be real Greek mythology versus Percy Jackson, because obviously shit's gonna be wrong. It's a YA novel. Get over it. People who complain about the mythology in Percy Jackson, get fucked. I get it. It's not real. I don't give a shit. I don't read it because it's real. I read it because it's good. Right? Anyway, moving on. In a lot of depictions of the god Pan, his meat is massive. Can I say that on here?
You know what? It's my channel. Go for it.
Yeah. His meat is massive, and it's because in classical art, if your dick was huge, it meant you were a silly guy who didn't have a lot going on. Hermes was another one. His dick was huge, and if you were an intelligent man, you had a small penis.
Okay, sorry. I need to tweet this in our Discord. At everyone, if you
get in the comments, talk about satyr penises.
You are missing Andy
At me at this. You should at me. At
Lord.
me at Oh Hey Andy on YouTube and on Twitter, talking about satyr penises.
I quit.
Sorry, this is not what we. I meant to.
This is the day I take over the book club, you guys. I'm gonna out the other two.
This is lovely. No, but okay, with the depictions we were talking about, like some people not liking the mythology, it's so clearly like obviously like Rick Riordan knows what he's doing. Wasn't he a professor or a teacher or something?
He was like an English teacher, which is not a classic like a classicist, like a classics major.
The mythology is so obviously twisted in a way that it fits like the contemporary world.
Yeah.
Like very obviously so, and like even just the way that like he goes about the whole, gods having children with all their wives still existing and stuff.
I'm sorry, you mean their wives, sisters? Yeah, let's talk.
Whatever.
It's for kids. It's for kids.
Yeah,
You obviously can't include all this shit.
You can be a little censored to make sure that everything
even
isn't
call it
traumatizing
censored.
like an important book. Not censored, but
yeah, I wouldn't even call it censored. It is definitely sanitized for children, and I do think that obviously we should talk about the gross things that happen in that kind of mythology because of the society that the ancient Greeks were a part of, which was highly misogynistic and all these other things, right? And we should talk about that. And I think this book is a good gateway to talk about that. So it doesn't have to be accurate. It just has to start the conversation.
Yes.
I do like when there's like little mythology references dropped that aren't elaborated on. Like I think there's a part where Percy is talking to Apollo and Percy's talking about like maybe it was a nymph or something getting chased around, and Apollo makes a reference to Daphne, but just like really subtly, as if the story isn't, about rape or whatever. Like he drops the little mythology thing.
Remember, guys, this is fiction. It's not supposed to be educational. It can open up doorways for educational opportunities, but in and of itself is not an education. You need to do the research. You need to talk about it with your kids.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I dropped the book and it fell. Absolutely fuck me. All right. Moving on from big penises. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep you know what? The challenge for today, circling it back to satyrs having massive dicks.
As you said that phrase, I just watched the counting for how many people watch go to 0.
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. Come back. I'll stop talking about satyr penises. I promise.
Okay, we're having fun.
We're having fun. We're having a good time. It's fine.
Anyways, what were we on chapter 4?
Large satyr meat. All right. Chapter 4. Didn't write anything down for chapter 4. What chapter was that shit?
I don't know.
Actually, let's talk about the fact that this book introduced to me the concept of funny chapter titles for books. I was genuinely heartbroken and upset when the Heroes of Olympus series was just like their names with a number.
Mm-hmm.
Like to signify which POV it was in.
Mm-hmm.
And then him bringing it back for like the Kane Chronicles, the Magnus Chase series, and then the Trials of Apollo. Shout out. I always thought that was a very nice touch. Anyway, the 4th chapter was My Mother Teaches Me Bullfighting. So this is like major spoilers. I guess because like the first 3 chapters, it's like, okay, that's the beginning. We're moving in, like we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is like where like big things happen. So Percy's mom gets Mick abducted. Mick murdered, I guess. Kind of, sort of, not really. How do you feel about your parent being Hades now, knowing that he sent that Minotaur to come get her?
You know what? None of are any of the other gods any better? Like
I didn't say they were any better. I just said, how do you feel about that?
You know what? You gotta feel. You just gotta push some things up. You gotta be forgiving.
He didn't really kill her.
I know.
He's just holding her there until.
Get in the comments.
I know Hades' children's fatal flaw is often grudges. However, there's some things we can ignore.
I mean, I hold grudges. I wouldn't do that though. That's too much work.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be forgiving. You gotta pick and choose your battles.
Oh my god.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Miley Cyrus.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Yes.
Chapter 5, shout out to the best meet cute in all of history.
I heard meet again, and I was like,
No, they're children. They're children. Actually, I found out recently that Percy turned 28 last year, canonically.
I don't.
He's older than me.
Okay, but wait, isn't it weird? Okay, I feel like it's so weird that in the Percy Jackson series, every single book he turns like it's like a year worth of whatever, which makes sense. You know, he starts off as I think 12 in the first book or 11, and then he ends up as 16 in the last book. But then in the Heroes of Olympus, I think he ends up
like 3 months.
Yeah, he's like 17 by the end, or maybe 18.
Yeah.
Rick Riordan was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to write him as an adult. Let's just stretch these out."
I think that is what happened. I have heard people talk about I think it was like Rick Riordan being like, I might reboot the series. Don't know what that means. I heard it could be that he like rewrites these books for like a more modern audience. I've also heard potentially it being like all new characters having their own story and stuff, and then like have like a Percy cameo in the background, you know, like a letter from him like pinned up to somebody's wall or something.
Or make him a old man.
No, I just want like a Percy Jackson spin-off series where they're all like in their mid-20s.
That would be.
I just want them to be happy.
But not for adult novels. Like I want them dropping F-bombs and everything.
If it's gonna be an adult novel, they're probably gonna kill off several people.
No, that would be so fun.
They've already done that, Mori.
Yeah.
Still, but like
children die in these books.
It's true.
Yes, I know.
No, I want like
that was upsetting.
Messy 20s.
I'll be right back. Continue.
Kind of, yeah. No, I
just want them to be happy, yo. Whenever they show up in the Magnus Chase series, they're always like fucking sad.
Did you read all of Magnus Chase?
I did. It's only 3 books. It's one.
I know. I read the first one and I thought it was very mediocre, so I didn't finish it.
It's not, and you're a liar. It's because you have poor taste, obviously, because you like Nico.
And like King Chronicles, I read the first one, and that was it. I was like, meh.
The poorest of taste.
Okay, but no, I'm like back in my phase. So I want to reread them or reread everything and then read what I haven't read. You know, I love the original covers. I'm a big fan of original covers, but I keep seeing like the new covers for King Chronicles. If anyone would like to get me a late birthday gift, a really early birthday gift, a late Christmas gift, a really early Christmas gift, I'm just saying.
A New Year's one, a Lunar New Year's coming up next soon-ish. I think it's on like a Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday the 1st.
A random gift. Anyway.
A happy hanging out with Mori gift. Like, come on.
I'm waiting for Mori to give me every single Rick Riordan book. Oh, and I saw you know the new Rick Riordan book, Daughter of the Deep. I saw that signed at a bookstore when I was here with Mori, and I didn't get it because it was $20.
We can get it on the way back.
You could get it on the way back.
$20. That's a lot of dollars. I've been training myself already. I picked up like 6 books already.
I haven't been.
So you can pick up 6 books and not that book. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, but they were all $1 each.
I'm joking.
That's some good deals over here.
Anyway, but yeah, shout out to the best meet cute in all of human history. You drool when you sleep.
Oh, I know.
Let's talk about it. Can we talk spoilers for the rest of the books?
Mm-hmm.
The relationship between Annabeth and Percy is the best romantic relationship I've read in my entire life. And I have things to say. So, I know so many young women, some of them are lesbians, who are like, Percy is my standard for romantic relationships.
Yeah, no, seriously.
He is such, what's the word? He's such a wife guy, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody? Percy, the wife guy. However, when I was but a wee lad growing up, I was like, I need to get me a girl like Annabeth. And then I did, because my girlfriend is very mean to me, but like in a funny way. Not in like an actual mean way. She's very nice. She's very sweet to me, I swear. But like in a like, you sweet dumb idiot. So that's where I got my taste in women from. Shout out to Percy Jackson.
Oh, can we talk about? Okay, this is again like talking about the whole series, but can we talk the Rachel Dare, Annabeth Chase, Percy Jackson thing? Can we talk about how oblivious poor Percy was to the seething jealousy that Annabeth?
Right. Spoilers for the 4th book. I got to the part before I had to stop reading. I got to the part where they're at Mount St. Helen, and Annabeth is like, "Don't die," and then like kisses him, and then runs away. And he's like, "So like, did you mean that as like a friend? Like, was that like a friend thing? Was it because he thought I was gonna die?"
Oh, poor little ignorant bean. I love him.
And like Annabeth just being like, "She's cute, right? Like, you think she's cute, right? Like that Rachel Dare girl." What a moron. Love him
so much.
Oblivious. I was just like, girl, he held the sky for you. He held the sky for you. He loves you, bitch.
No, seriously, that's like the I was thinking that too, how like that is literally the best relationship throughout the entire course of my reading career. Because also it's just so besides the whole Rachel Dare thingy, it's just a very stable, just loving, just good stuff.
He forgot everything about his life, including his fucking mom, but didn't forget her. Let's talk about that. What a man. I know so many lesbians in real life and on the internet who are like, Percy is my standard. Like he's my exception. I also know way too many people who write fics about Percy being a girl. That's another can of worms.
I definitely am Percy Jackson fanfic out there.
Yeah.
Written by my own 2 thumbs.
Hi, Lester Drumlins. I
hello.
recognize the Doctor Who name.
Right. Oh my goodness! Oh yeah, for the first time last year. Oh, I'm glad you loved it. I couldn't tell I loved it for the nostalgia factor or if other people would like it too. So that's good to hear that you also liked it.
What did I rate it?
Yeah, what did you rate it, friend?
Let me scroll down. I'm gonna have to look it up. Like, because that was my second read, so like I probably felt like I was just read it before. I didn't rate it. I gave it no.
That's totally fine.
That's so valid. Oh, I think this is the book where they're also like, names have power, Percy. Don't say the name. Like, don't say the ancient names. And then, like, in the later series, they're like, actually, fuck Zeus. Like, it's like, when they're like older and jaded, like, what are they gonna do? Like, smite me from the sky? Haha, I saved their ass.
Oh my goodness. I keep complaining about this. I keep telling Mori this too. I just want to get another set of Percy Jackson books because I just want to go through all of them and like highlight them and write all over them. But I feel like it's wrong to deface my childhood copies. You know,
I definitely will do that with my childhood copies if I get the new hardcover sets that they have for the new. Have you seen them? If you line up the books in order.
Wait, are you talking about
the hardcover? No, not the hardcover. Yeah, the artwork on the covers of the newer ones, the paperbacks and the hardcovers. They make like a full scene of like all of his adventures throughout the 5 books.
Are you talking about these ones?
Yeah.
Okay, these are the ones I've been looking for, and
I have some of them.
Some.
I got them in like used bookstores and stuff, so I have like one or. I took a picture of.
Yeah, we've been running into them because these are the ones I really want, but to like I want to annotate those ones, but I think they're ugly.
They only had the 3rd, 4th, and 4th at the used bookstore we went to.
Interesting. That's wild.
Yeah, but I've been really wanting to get another copy. I have 2 copies of every book in the Heroes of Olympus series though, so I'm definitely gonna.
Nerd. I have a signed, gilded copy of the Mark of Athena, which is my favorite book in that series.
Oh my gosh.
As you can tell, I had a crush on Annabeth. That book was very Annabeth-centric, so I was very into that.
That's awesome.
I read that book. There was a point in my life where you could quote a section of the book at me, and I would be able to tell you the exact page. That's how bad I had it, you guys. I was deep. I was deep into those books. Moving on.
It is a Doctor Who reference. Knew it.
Wait, what's a Doctor Who reference?
The name Lester Drumlins is from the episode Blink.
Oh. I never watched Doctor Who.
I know, and
Lame.
it's sad.
I watched one
Poor
episode.
taste.
Now that's weird.
Which
Poor
episode? Because if it was the first
I
season,
watched the first episode of the first season, and I was like, nah, man.
you have to keep going.
No, the mannequins
You
were
have to.
too much for me.
You have to buckle down and just watch all of them and just commit.
No.
It gets good and then it gets bad and then it gets good again.
And then there's just the episodes you don't talk about.
What if I just watched a show where it was all good?
No. Chapter 6. The fact that Camp Half-Blood as an entity has expenses. And that's the reason why they grow the strawberries. A place where they are housing children of the gods should not have expenses. All those kids should be outfitted with, like, the newest iPads, like, great food, like, all this shit, right? Fucked up if true. Also, this is where I get into my soapbox. I'm going to step on the soapbox. I also get into it in the 5th book. But we're going to step on it now. I think Clarice should have been gay. And I think she should have been in love with Selena. And that is my soapbox. They were supposed to be an allegory for Achilles. Where did she go?
She's getting a cookie.
Sorry. Okay. They were supposed to be an allegory for Patroclus and Achilles, right? With Selena. Yes. Okay, back on my soapbox. All right, I'm even getting closer to the screen. In the 5th book, I need to have my Pepe Sylvia board up here.
What about the 5th book?
In the 5th book. Spoilers for the 5th book. It's towards the end. I'm sorry.
Wait, I didn't read the end yet. I've already read the book.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just lost. We're good.
In the 5th book, Clarice is like, my honor has been tainted by the Apollo cabin because they won't give us our spoils of war. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to fight, and neither is my cabin, which is just like Achilles did in, the Iliad, if you've read the Iliad. So Selena, who has cultivated a friendship, an unlikely friendship, with Clarice, goes to try to talk to her about it, and eventually steals her armor, puts it on, and then takes leads the Ares cabin into war, and then is struck down during the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Clarice gets there at the very last moment as she lays dying, all this stuff, puts on the armor.
Let you do this because I didn't remember this, and I
It's in the book! Elise, it's in the book. Read the damn book. It's in there. Puts on the armor. Bitch goes into a full-on rage, gets a blessing of Ares, and destroys the Kraken thing. It's like a hybrid sea serpent dragon thing.
Cool.
Yeah, we're getting into it. And it's supposed to parallel the friendship between Achilles and Patroclus, because that's what happened in the Iliad. Patroclus puts on Achilles' armor, leads the Greeks into war, dies. Achilles obviously gets really fucking sad and angry and kills the thing, right? Well, kills Hector, who killed Patroclus. Anyway, I think Selena and Clarice should have been gay. That's my soapbox. They should have been gay for each other.
So that's on the list if they do a reboot.
If they get Rick Riordan, call me. I'll help you make it happen. I'll be a good sensitivity reader and everything. Make it happen.
Email to the publisher, just being like,
yeah,
hey.
I'd be like, please, if you reboot this series, make them gay.
Yeah,
please. Heart emoji.
I know he's doing better now, but there should have been more.
There should have been more gay people.
Although I sometimes, just for fun,
except for Nico.
Well, no, because the thing is, people were upset when Nico was canonically revealed as gay well, of course there are the people who are like, I just don't agree with the LGBT community. But I was like trying to remember the controversy, so I looked it up recently, and I guess people are upset because for a lot of reasons. Some people are like, this was so forced, or there's no way that at age 12 Nico had a crush on Percy. That's so unrealistic, as if kindergartners don't have crushes on people. But there's a lot of people saying I feel like it would have been cool if Rick chose anyone but Nico to be gay, because stereotypically it's always the moody, broody, emo, troubled.
I think Jason should have been gay.
I think so too.
He was a little fruity for a wipe, give him some personality. He was pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie, but I still like Jason. I think Jason's cool. You guys are just mean. I'm not here for the Jason slander. He should have been gay. him and Piper should have been MLM Woo Solidarity, right? Like, I'm coming out here with the hottest of takes.
I just remember Frank existed. Frank was not.
I liked Frank, but also
But,
weird for him to be in a relationship with a 14-year-old. He's 16.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. It's Rick Riordan. I don't think Rick Riordan knows how ages work. I don't think he knows that these numbers have meaning.
I don't think he needed to pair everyone up like that. Like, he really did not. Like, no, not everyone had to be in a couple. They just didn't have to, especially at the young, tender ages of 14 to 18. It just didn't need to be a thing.
Yeah, I also just think that he doesn't know how age works, because he's just like, oh yeah, a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, that sounds great. And I'm like,
no, it
that
doesn't.
sounds awful, actually, my dude, my guy, my man. So yeah, in my notes I said, so Mr. Riordan, did you do all of that and they weren't even a little gay about it?
Wait, I just saw something. 14 to 16 could technically be an 8th grader and a junior in high school.
Wow, I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff. TBH, that made me want to throw myself off a cliff. Just thinking about that.
That just.
Granted, never mind. I'm not even say granted.
No.
Where is the side quest where they take the gods to court and they have to pay child support? I would read that book in a heartbeat. I genuinely would read a book where they were like, they took the gods to court for that. Chapter 7.
I'd support it if you made it.
Yeah. So, chapter 7. Did you guys know, this is like me being incredibly off topic while writing my notes. Did you guys know that Coke, like Coca-Cola, is brown because it's dyed? And it's because it's actually clear. And the reason why it was dyed brown to begin with was because when Coca-Cola, like Coca-Cola was invented, it was competing with tea to be like the top beverage, right? Mm-hmm. So don't know what color like cherry flavoring is. Presumably they can make a clear one because most things have dye in it. So blue cherry Coke could be a thing, and I think they should do it for when the TV show comes out. I'm just saying. I think Coca-Cola can do it. I would give my left tit. Granted, I would give my left tit for most things because I want both of them gone. For blue cherry Coke. I think chapter 7 was the first time they mentioned that.
You just remind me of the TV show. I feel like it's not even happening. Like, it hasn't, like...
We're in a pandemic, Elise.
It's too good to be true, you know? I just... Yeah. I'm about to mention Harry Potter again. But I just want them to pull a Harry Potter and, like make it in that way where, like, you grow up with the characters and it's just, like, a sensation everyone's looking forward to every year. But I feel like that's not going to happen. It's going to get canceled after season 1.
The thing is, I think that this book series, even if it gets canceled after season 1, it lends itself well to that, because even though there is like an overarching plot with an with an end result, each book is pretty like, all right, that's the story for this book.
Yeah, okay, but you know what? I just want to see Heroes of Olympus on screen so bad.
I don't. I feel like they won't be able to do. That's just so many characters. That's just too many people.
Oh, what? Game of Thrones exists.
What?
It went well.
What?
I said shows like Game of Thrones exist.
Well, Game of Thrones sucked. Like,
yes, it does. What was that ending? I've never seen.
I tried watching Wheel of Time with my partner, and I couldn't do it. There was too many people in that.
And then the one episode where just everything was dark, like no lighting choices were made. Could barely see.
For the love of God, Disney, please don't make this physically impossible to watch.
Yes.
Speaking of dark, do you like my phone background, Andy? I'm sure you can tell what that is.
The poorest of taste. This is crazy.
My lock screen, or my home screen too.
All right. Oh, this is where I get. I'm gonna pop back up on my soapbox for a second, because now chapter 8, I have a bone to pick with this book. So every urban fantasy novel. So urban fantasy is basically, I think we all know this, but I'm going to just reiterate it for people who don't know, because there is a difference between urban fantasy and magical realism, and people get the two confused for some reason. Magical realism is like a Latinx genre that is specifically about the magic in the everyday that is slightly fantastical, right? Whereas urban fantasy is usually, there is a secret other magical world hidden within our real world, and only certain people can access it, right? So you with me so far? Awesome. Perfect. Moving on. So every single urban fantasy novel has some sort of widespread obscuring force that prevents normal people from seeing the fantastical world, such as the Mist and Percy Jackson. Shout out to Dimension 20, the umbral arcana of the unsleeping city that prevents New Yorkers from seeing the dream realm.
I need to see that.
Yeah, you do need to see that. It's good. And then 2, there's like some other like vow or group that prevents people from seeing the fantastical world, such as the Order of the Merlins in Legendborn, the fucking Volturi from Twilight, etc., etc., etc. Right? Okay, here we go. Here's the problem with urban fantasy, because every single time you bring in this fantastical world that exists in our own world, every single book has to grapple with the question of what happened during World War II, right? And I think and this is why I gave this book 4 stars instead of 5 stars, because I think Rick Riordan did a very awful thing. Why, oh why is Hitler a son of Hades? Why? That's canon!
Yeah.
Wait, where did I miss that?
Yeah.
That's canon!
What?
Yeah.
Never mind, I don't want to be
Yeah.
I'm not going to be associated with Hitler.
You know what? Sometimes we just have a few bad apples.
No, yes! A few bad apples committed genocide! Horrible genocide! No! So yeah, this is completely unnecessary, because most of the time the books won't even touch the question of well, what happened during World War II, right? They don't touch that question. Yeah, you did block it out. It was canon, the second book of the Heroes of Olympus series, because remember, it was the big deal was that the World War II was fought over. It was an argument between the sons of Zeus and Poseidon versus the son of Hades. It is implied in this book to be Hitler. In the second book, Hazel makes mention that the guy who's claiming to be her dad, who is Pluto, looks a lot like Adolf Hitler without the mustache. So, like, it's canon, you guys. It's fucking canon. So, here is my thing. This completely diminishes the anti-Semitism, the racism, the homophobia that led to millions of people being genocided. So, here's the thing. Nearly all of the books that I have of any of these series are first editions. So these were like first printings of these books without any edits to them. I don't know if later editions took these out. I really do hope.
That's what I was talking to Mori about, because we were talking about just some word choices, not Hitler, because I guess I missed that. We were just talking about some
second book
outdated terminology and stuff.
Oh yeah, and when they used an ableist term.
Yeah.
Yep.
People.
Yeah. So, but I have a first edition too, and I was asking Mori, I was like, is this like, when was the edition of your, or like, do you know what year your audiobook was published in, or like what edition they're reading? Because I'm reading a first edition, and I'm just hoping this is something that they changed.
I think mine was like,
so I think it'd be really interesting too.
Part of me is hoping that it has changed in later editions. However, that does not diminish the fact that it did happen, and that was published, and it is canon. And it just, it put, like, rereading it, I was like, I forgot. It was one of those things where it's like, I did read this relatively recently, but it was one of those things where I completely blocked it out, like you said. Like, I was just like, huh. So when I was reading it to, like, read it and critique it, I was like, we really do need to talk about this, because it was entirely unnecessary. There was no point for it. It doesn't move the plot forward. It also just raises a bunch of issues. And also, don't get me started on the whole Civil War was actually fought by the two different demigod groups. Yeah, fuck that noise. Anyway, shout out to Lightning Thief musical for being good. we gotta loop it back around to some positive shit, right?
There we go.
Anyway, listen to Lightning Thief musical. It's actually really good. Everybody who says otherwise is a liar. So the original. This is where I think this is the point where they reveal that Percy is the son of Poseidon. The original title for this book was The Son of Poseidon, and the editor was like, "Hey, dude, like, that's a spoiler. We don't find that shit out. Don't find that shit out till chapter 8. So you might want to change it. So it got changed to Lightning Thief. But that title got recycled for book 2 of the Heroes of Olympus series with the Son of Neptune.
Oh yeah,
that's a fun little fact for everybody.
You're full of fun little facts.
I am full of fun little facts.
Something fun.
I don't remember anything.
I have to like go through all of my shit, right? Chapter 9, shout out to the most iconic nickname of our generation, Seaweed Brain.
Oh.
Everyone wishes they have a nickname like that by their significant. Actually no, because my partner called me and still calls me a weak frog nerd boy sloth man. In that order.
I love that.
It started off as like, you're just like a weak frog nerd boy, and then proceeded to be like, like a sloth man. So, 7 years strong, almost 8 years, you guys. I'm gonna marry them.
Oh.
Shout out to my wife. Chapter 10 didn't have any notes. Chapter 11.
We get it. Andy, be quiet. We get it. You're happy.
I'm happy and in love. Unlike you, ass
I disowned him. I'm good.
I'm Mori disowned.
I am my own person.
This is sad.
That's true. Chapter 11. Oof. We got food descriptions for a person who might not be white. I believe the term was mocha skin for Medusa.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love that. It was the early, not to be like, it was a different time, but it was a lot more prevalent back then is the thing.
Yeah.
So as a child, didn't think much of it. I'm an adult now and went, ooh, that bad. That's the bad thing about rereading your phase. You go back and be like, that was awful. Chapter 12 didn't have any notes. Chapter 13, can gods use birth control? I'm not mad, just curious. Like, is their sperm just so strong that they just,
You have a great mind.
I'm asking the real questions. I don't know what prompted that particular thought. I think I killed Mori.
I'm good. I'm just hiding.
I'm here for it. I'm curious too.
I just, like, can they use birth control is my question. Again, I'm not mad. It's not me being like, can they use birth control? Stop having all these
reading.
I just watched the amount of people watching go down.
Oh, okay, to back up. Hopefully you didn't leave us hanging, Western.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry that I have a chaotic mind and you guys can't handle me.
You don't need to apologize for it.
If you can't handle me at my satyrs have big meat, you don't deserve me at my can gods use birth control. Get on my level. Whenever I see the word echidna, all I can think of is Knuckles from Sonic. Knuckles the echidna. You guys don't appreciate my genius.
I know nothing about Sonic.
I know very little.
Sorry.
I have seen the newest movie because of
Idris Elba is going to be playing Knuckles the Echidna in the new Sonic movie. So get prepared.
So many people are already being weird on Twitter.
Yeah, that's blatant fur bait right there. Anyway, chapter... I have to scroll through Twitter to make me laugh a lot. You're welcome. Can gods use birth control? Tweet, Mr. Rick Riordan. Answer the question. Can gods use birth control?
I just think don't you think he must get tired of only writing children's fiction. I just think he should go for it. Maybe not right now while he still has like children's fiction out, but like when he's bored, maybe like a decade from now, he should just write some like raunchy spin-off series.
Just read Katie Roberts. Is that what her name is?
Is that the one you did?
wrote Persephone and Hades thing that was apparently sexy.
No, but I want it to be. I know. I'm sure there's a bunch of
I don't trust Rick Riordan with that.
Smut out there, but I want it to be specifically the Percy Jackson characters all grown up. I want to see my little babies get like.
No, I'm sorry. You want to see your little babies? What the fuck?
No.
Put in the comments.
No.
Elise is canceled. I'm canceling Elise. Perfect. Like, for real. I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. But also, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Like, I get it. Canonically, he's 28 now. But, like, no, thank
I said what I said.
No.
I want to watch them grow up all the way up. It's like
Chapters 14 and 15, I didn't write notes. I'm moving on. I'm avoiding this altogether. Chapter 16. I assume most other years Chiron stays at the camp and teaches year-round. But do the demigods who stay throughout the year receive any formal education? Clearly, Mr. Brunner, as Mr. Brunner, plus thousands of years of teaching experience, has given Chiron unparalleled expertise, but I'm curious, do they get their GED? Is Camp Halfblood a certified high school? These kids need an education. They can't just be hacking and slashing their way through problems. They gotta do math. They need to know the quadratic formula. Like,
oh my goodness.
I don't even know if I still know the quadratic formula.
X equals negative v plus or minus the square root of v squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah.
Well, I'll find out
on it. Sorry.
I'm avoiding all my math homework.
They're so valid. Chapter 17. Fun fact about me. Wasn't until last year that I realized that DOA records meant dead on arrival. Because I'm a fucking moron.
I wouldn't have.
I know. I watched too many crime shows growing up, so yeah.
I would not have.
Here's the thing, though. Like, in crime shows, I'm like, oh yeah, DOA dead on arrival. But my stupid little brain was like, DOA records, wonder what that means. It wasn't until I listened to the Percy Jackson musical that I realized that it was dead on arrival. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I'm pea-brained.
That's okay. I didn't get it.
Chapter 17, we also got another description of a non-white character with food. I don't remember what this one was. I don't even want to repeat it. Chapter 18. Okay. Why are objectively terrible people judging the afterlife? I guess it's truly a reflection of real life. Anyway, I know Thomas Jefferson is burning in hell.
Agreed.
Yeah, like all the people they listed as like judges of the afterlife, I'm like, these people are objectively horrible.
Yeah.
Like awful, like awful human beings. One of the reasons why I think Percy Jackson as a series holds up is very loose in this definition, particularly well, is because it doesn't rely on too many like pop culture references. At least from what I remembered, it's pretty self-contained. I think the only real reference is Barbara Waters, who is a pretty famous American news broadcaster. That's one of the issues I have with a lot of contemporary YA, including some of Rick Riordan's later work, specifically The Trials of Apollo. Because whenever you make a reference to anything, it automatically dates your work. And I'm pretty sure, like, in the opening things of Trials of Apollo, there's, like, a fucking Hamilton reference. And I was like, I'm going to throw myself off a cliff.
We don't need more Hamilton references.
We don't. We need less of them, in fact. I have issues with Hamilton. Okay, I'm sorry. Moving on.
You're good.
Chapter 19, my only note is, don't worry, Percy, you'll be intimately familiar with Carteris soon enough.
Yeah, that's true. The evil cackle.
Excuse me.
Let's do.
No notes for 2021, and the only note I have for 22 is, at the risk of sounding like a Luke apologist, which I am not. I am not a Luke apologist.
Okay.
Western civilization is a disease is fucking based. That's true, my guy. Western civilization is a fucking disease. Capitalism is a disease. We should destroy it.
No. Maybe he had a point or two.
He had several points. outside of wanting to murder millions, I think, yeah. No, he didn't. But also, post-book thoughts. Mostly holds up, like I said. Again, very loose compared to other books from my childhood. Holds up pretty well. I feel as though I'm not as critical as I've been with other books, and I can't tell if it's the nostalgia or if this genuinely aged okayish. And obviously, I'm pretty biased, so because I love this book.
If you posted your notes for every single book you'd read,
oh my god, we would be so powerful. I'm kidding. Don't do this.
I'd hype up a blog, really.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
Andi blog.
It's hard to read words, but I would read your blog.
We are waiting for
No,
it.
don't. In this, I asked, who do you think your godly parent would be? Which we already know. Blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
not Hades anymore.
If I say the phrase, Percybeth is a straight ship for gay people, will you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
There is just something a little fruity about him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the friends to lovers.
Oh, they're so
Maybe
good.
it's the bantering. Maybe it's because he gave up his immortality for her. Well, he gave up her offer of immortality for her.
Hear me out. Percybeth, only valid relationship. Any of the other ones I could do without.
Including, what is it? De Solstice or whatever the fuck Solangelo or whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay, I think it's really cute, but I think that relationship was more like to prove that the queer character was gonna actually be queer in the book. So fine, that'll pass. But I think like as like an actual genuine relationship, Percybeth is the only one that matters. Like, I feel like putting Nico in a relationship mattered to prove that he was in a, like that the queerness wasn't just inserted into the book, that it would actually be, you know, a part of Nico, but it could have been anyone. Like, I didn't necessarily care about Will, you know, in the way that,
I just like, they had exactly 3 interactions and now they're dating? Oh.
Will is mentioned in The Last Olympian. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he is. He becomes the Apollo cabin leader after his brother fucking dies. Like, immediately. It's like, you're cabin leader now. It's crazy. Those books are wild. These were the first books that I read as a kid where, like, not main characters, but, like, important enough side characters who had backstories were fucking murdered on screen.
Yeah.
Shout out. Oh, Dimitri wanted me to say this. He sent me a tweet not too long ago that was like, you want me to be a good a good older sister? The thing that got Bianca D'Angelo killed?
You didn't.
Yeah, he did. It was wild. We were talking about that. I hope I got you right, Dimitri. I hope I got you right. Oh my god. It's fully glitching out. Oh, I forgot. Another reason to hate Nico, he's Italian.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I'm Italian.
Well, that's another reason to hate Elise. That's another reason why Elise is canceled.
Oh no. I have to leave.
Is that why you identify with him because you're gay and Italian? Grow up! I'm gonna get canceled. I'm sorry. This is a joke, guys. This is a joke. I do think Italian representation is very important. I'm sorry.
Anyways,
I'm taking this joke way too far.
I like Nico because he is angsty and no one likes him. Literally, okay, you know that oh my gosh, what is that movie it's from where the guy is like, no one likes me? Okay, that was such a bad description of it. Never mind, whatever. There's a line in this series where like Nico's like, yeah, I don't belong here, no one's gonna like me, and Percy's like, that's not true, and Nico's like, yeah, that's true, and Percy's like, yeah, maybe that's true. No, I feel that.
I just had to text my sisters, Elise is canceled, she's Italian. Like,
I want everyone to know that is a joke. I'm not going to actually cancel Elise for being Italian. I'm not going to cancel her for enjoying Nico D'Angelo. I'm not canceling Nico for being Italian. That was a joke. I'm not homophobic. I'm not Italian phobic.
Why are you canceling him? Because you hate gay
people. I'm canceling him because I hate him.
Yeah, I said what I said.
My favorite part of the series as a whole, and I mean like the entire Percy Jackson Heroes of Olympus thing, is because Percy is such an unreliable narrator because he's like, oh, I'm just a little guy. You can't, it's my birthday. You wouldn't punch a little guy on his birthday, right? And then everybody else is like, Percy's actually terrifyingly competent in battle, and I'm very glad that he's on our side, because if he wasn't on our side, we would be murdered. Such as the famous Hazel quote, which was, Percy was the most like powerful demigod she's ever met, aside from Jason. Jason was okay. Camp Jupiter or Camp Half-Blood?
I haven't reread the Heroes of Olympus series, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Fair enough. Mori?
Know anything.
Also, Mori's sister just said I'm also canceled for being Italian. I want everyone who's watching to know I'm this dark because I'm Filipino, not because I'm not that dark.
Guys.
I am fan for Filipino-ness, not because I'm Italian.
Right.
Oh wait, am I darker than you?
I can't tell.
We're all gonna get canceled, like for real, on this stream now. For real. On God.
I'm not really good like base your skin color off of, because I'm like the lightest in my family, like dark skinned black people.
Anyways,
y'all are crazy.
Yes.
I saw a tweet that was like, the fundamental difference between Camp Half-Blood and Camp Jupiter is that if you're in Camp Jupiter, you get to live into your adulthood. And somebody said, yeah, that's why I picked Camp Half-Blood as a kid. And I was like, that hit a little too close to home now, didn't it? Anyway, yeah, Camp Half-Blood all the way. I don't want to join the army.
Yeah. I think I've always been Camp Half-Blood, but I'm so disappointed because when I saw the Blood of Olympus tour, they were giving out free shirts and you could choose either Camp Half-Blood or Camp Jupiter. And I chose, even though I loved Camp Half-Blood so much, I chose Camp Jupiter because I was like, this orange is so ugly, I'll never wear it. So I chose the purple shirt.
I saw something that was like, the reason why the shirts are bright orange is so that way they can identify the bodies. These book series, if you think about these books for too long, fucking morbid as hell.
Yes.
That's wild.
Which is actually what I respected of it.
Yeah, no, because when I was reading, I was like, is this like actually a middle grade book? Because I'm so shocked by like the descriptions, because they're gory. They're like,
they're not like gory, but they're gory for middle grade, you know?
Well, yeah, like for the age that I remember people reading that series at, it's violent.
Mm-hmm. I told, like, fucking kids get murdered on screen. Like, I think the first person to like die was Bianca, and that one was like, oh, they didn't find her body. And then like Zoe got fucking murdered, and it was like straight up like she like describing the poisonous wound in her side that was like stretching across her body.
Can you just stop being a hater for 1 second and just think about the scene where Percy's giving Nico the little mythomagic or whatever it's called statue that Bianca pretty much died for? Can we? And then when Nico's like, no, I don't want this. And then later on when Percy finds it, when Tyson's cleaning and like Nico takes it, oh. Doesn't it just melt your little heart?
No, it doesn't. I think that Chiron should have been an adult and told Nico about it immediately instead of waiting for Percy to tell him. I feel like a real adult person should have told him and not just another child.
But I think it's Blood of Olympus. Nico grows up and he apologizes and said it was unfair. And
whatever.
No.
I'm unfeeling and uncaring.
He was a little baby.
And come on, if he wasn't Italian, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take it. Woo! Oh,
little baby.
If this is another thing that Dimitri and I were talking about in December, if we were to go on a quest, because I think at the time it was us and then Dimitri and Ren were like, oh, we're gonna be on stream for the Percy Jackson thing. Obviously, that didn't work out, but it's okay. If the 5 of us went on a quest and only 3 of us would make it, a la the prophecy, the 3rd book of 5 will go west and only 3 will come back. Who do you think would make it? Honestly, think it's us 3 because we powered through these books and now we're here and the other 2 are gone. for good and valid reasons. Obviously, you gotta
Yeah.
take care of yourselves, you guys. Like, it's very important. The pandemic is real. Like, burnout is real. You need to take care of yourself. But also, they wouldn't make it on this quest. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I have a lot of rage. I'd definitely make it through.
I think I wouldn't make it because I'd probably like be a martyr and be like, I'll die instead. You know.
Oh, I think what would happen is that like Elise would make it. Like, we would finish the quest, and on the way back, Elise would get killed. If we did the quest, we're on our way back.
No, I'd probably be like stepping into Camp Half-Blood and get eaten by a harpy or something just for fun. Not even like the real.
It's like, oh, you broke curfew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Probably trip over my shoelaces.
Infection on the way back. To bring back my brand, which is D&D, if you wanted to play Percy in a D&D campaign, shout out to 2 of my D&D campaigns, which are ancient Greece related. One using an actual D&D setting, another one which is a homebrew setting. I play a Paladin of Glory in one, and I'm going to play a grumpy, big-meated satyr divination wizard in the other one. I'm going to keep bringing it back. We're going to keep losing followers, and that's fine, as long as I keep talking about satyr meat. I love how I'm canceling Elise for being Italian, and nobody's canceling me for talking about satyr dick on stream.
Oh no, you want to see something?
Get in the comments. Percy Jackson. I would recommend. Did it go down again? Did our viewership go down again?
See your name.
What?
Look at your name.
Where? Oh, big meat satyr bitches. All right, moving on.
Yeah, we actually.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh no.
Don't be a pussy. All right. So if you want to play, oh god, you guys are awful. If you want to play Percy Jackson in a D&D campaign, here are the steps you gotta take. First step, I would think you should play a water Ganassi, which is like a water elemental. I know Percy's a human, but it gives you a swim speed, water breathing, and then the shape water cantrip and destroy and create water spell. Then you do a Paladin of Glory Paladin, which is from the Greek mythology inspired setting Theros. Oath of Glory is very athlete based, but it's like it lends well to Percy, and it gives you some magical abilities as well as focusing on martial abilities. You make strength, dex, and charisma your highest scores, or you can make dex and constitution your other high score, and then charisma as well. For Annabeth, I would go human variant, and you either take the prodigy feat or the martial adept feat. Prodigy will give you access to another language, skill proficiency, and skill expertise, and tool proficiency. Martial Adept will give you early access to Battle Master maneuvers. Take 3 levels of Fighter for Action Surge, Second Wind, and Fighting Style, which you should either take Superior Technique and then pick Battle Master as your subclass. It's easier to multi-class out of Fighter than it is to multi-class into Fighter, depending on the build. Then multi-class on a Rogue for at least 3 levels. Pick Inquisitive as your subclass. Make Dex, Wisdom, and Intelligence your 3 highest scores.
None of those words made sense to me.
It made sense to me.
I love how it made perfect sense to Mori. Like I said, one of these days.
I am literally 2022. I want to be in a campaign. I am going to force the people I know.
Trust Mori. One of these days, and when I say one of these days, I mean once I figure out my grad school shit, I will do a once a month booktube inspired campaign. We'll stream it on air. We'll make it very accessible for people who've never played before, and we'll show people how to play. And all of our characters will be based on different bookish characters. And the whole thing of the game is that everyone's going to try to guess like who is what character based on like their abilities and their personalities and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And if
I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I'm manifesting it now. We're manifesting it now.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I talked about Percy Jackson for over an hour.
That's
I also mentioned.
I have a comment. Mm-hmm. Let's brainstorm ways that I could become a 12-year-old boy, so that way I can play Percy Jackson in the night.
I think you're short enough and have a high enough voice that I can work. I don't think it would take much, Elise. Maybe you like work out a little bit more, so you have like a little bit of like muscle.
It's getting worse. You know
I
what?
know. Andy's canceled. 20.
Completely unrelated, but when we met yesterday, I forgot how short she was.
4'11".
And I'm like 5'8".
I'm so whoa. I was just hit with 2 pieces of news. The first one being that Elise is 4'11".
Let me move the table. Okay. Is that it? I all limbs.
Mori, why do you look like Elise's babysitter?
I get that.
I've just like I've been 5'8" for years, and then
I've been 4'11" for years.
Literally, when I texted that to Elise, she was just like, "You're a giraffe." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm like almost exactly in the middle between the 2 of you. I'm 5'5".
You're taller than both my sisters, though.
I know you thought I was like 5'9".
I'm like the youngest, but I'm taller than both my siblings, and I do use it against
Yeah, look,
them.
wait, why am I? Okay, I must have a long torso. You have a short torso or something.
I think it might be because Mori is like slouching a little bit, just a little slouchy. No, Elise just has a long torso. I guess.
I've been told I'm very proportional, which is a really cute a cute compliment.
I feel it's a weird backhand compliment. Like, oh, you're very proportional.
People say you're very short, but you're very proportional, and I'll take it because sometimes as short people we're a little compact, because I can give off the illusion of looking
like
tall.
A little smart car. Yeah, I keep thinking canceled. At least it's for dumb things and not like a real thing. I'm okay with that. As long as it's for like dumb reasons and not real reasons. I'm really okay.
No, that's awesome. I'll be referred to a smart car any day.
Then I'm just like,
listen, smart cars are smart. Battery operated.
Woo!
Can fit in tiny spaces. Can only hold like 3 grocery bags.
You know what? Sometimes that's all you need.
Sometimes it is all you need.
I have a trash bag right there.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I thought Mori was gonna be like my height. Like I was like, oh, that makes sense. No,
I'm 5'8".
So tall, uncomfortably so.
As long as I'm taller than Elise, that is all that matters.
No, it's whatever. Yeah, you're a whole half a foot taller than me.
Like, I'm taller than a majority of the people that I know.
Actually, Elise, I don't know how to tell you this, but Mori is a full like.
No, I said you're half a foot taller.
3/4 of a foot taller than you.
No, I said you're half a foot taller than me.
Yeah, I'm half a foot taller than you.
And you're the height of one of my sisters.
Me?
No.
Oh.
Shout out.
You're still taller than you. I'm sorry.
I had to be the only for something. I like being special, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's it for my notes. So if you guys want to add things or subtract things or multiply them and divide them, just
my main takeaway is this has actually been quite good. It aged. I mean, besides a couple comments that were a little off key, I think it aged pretty well. Nico is still my favorite character. However, I'm going to just say this right now. I think Percy Jackson is one of my favorite main characters in any book that I've ever read. Because I feel like for so many books, or especially for series, I don't like the main character isn't my favorite character. It's always the side characters I want to know more about. And like for this series, obviously I was talking about Nico and I want a Nico book, which I'm finally getting. But like for once, I think Percy is probably one of my favorite characters, despite the fact that there's so many characters. So solid read. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to keep reading Rick Riordan books.
Where are my notes?
Yeah.
I read it the last day of 2021 because like mid-December was just a train wreck.
Yeah, I haven't finished a book so far in 2022, and there's bitches who finished like 20 books already, so you know.
I read 7.
Mine says that I've read like 7 or 11, but it's mainly comic issues because
those count. Comic books count.
I didn't want to wait for the full comic to come out, and I'm just like, I'm wasting my time because I didn't like them.
Oh my gosh!
Literally, the only reason why I even hit 80 books last year was because I read all of Far Sector by N.K. Jemisin. Read it; it's really good. And they didn't have a full volume of it yet, so I had to read the individual comics as they came out throughout the year.
I'm definitely going to need that title sent to me.
Far Sector, N.K. Jemisin, really good. Green Lantern comic, DC Comics, fuck Marvel. That's another controversial opinion I have.
You're not wrong. I've been reading Marvel comics, and
DC Comics are better.
But Eternals
but also not. Read independent artists. Read independent comics by independent people.
Yes. What was that? Oh yeah, I wrote All These Kids Were Made for War, and that's sad. Annabeth using him as a human shield is always funny. I'm looking forward to when how the rest of the books get darker, because I'm just like, whoa.
Children are murdered on screen. They have on-screen funerals.
And
I don't like that.
On-page funerals.
Oh, I love how this dude saw Percy and immediately tried to drink to forget, and I'm like, mood. If I worked there, I would forget.
Why? I liked Percy.
It was Mr. D being like, glug glug.
Yes. Just like, mood.
Yeah. But yeah, these books, for the most part, held up. I think, obviously, read at your own risk and, like, take necessary precautions if you are sensitive to the things that we talked about in this. Because you don't want to upset yourself. Obviously, nobody wants to do that to yourself. But yeah, for the most part, I think it is worth a reread. And I think it's worth a share.
Yes.
With caution.
I still have the paperback, so I can actually read for the first time and update y'all.
Read them books and listen to the Lightning Thief musical. It's good.
Oh my gosh,
I will try.
Favorite song is Try, which isn't even a song that's technically on the album. It's like a bonus track, so it's not even in the real.
Oh, I don't think I've listened to that then.
No, listen to it. It's good. It's good.
Okay, wait. Let me tell you my favorites before we skedaddle.
Tree on a Hill. Shit's sad.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Good Kid. Oh,
that's such a good one. Look at my entire Spotify's just Heathers.
All Heathers. Wow.
It's like I've listened to
nothing.
You
have a problem, Elise. You have a problem.
You don't understand. When I say I've listened to nothing for the past 2 weeks except Heathers, I mean I literally have not listened to anything, and I listen to music constantly. My Spotify, the Spotify Wrapped last year, it was like 92,000 minutes or something. So I listened to a lot of music. It's just been Heathers. It's so bad.
I can't say shit because I've been listening to Encanto for like the last 2 months.
It's the only song I downloaded for the plane ride. So, yeah. Okay.
And then Lisa's still judging me for listening to the one song that was on my Spotify.
I wasn't judging. I was
not Wrapped. You were concerned.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it, Maury?
Mandible by Odette. I've listened to that about 10,000 times in 2021. I'm not joking.
Yeah, that was literally what
it helps me. Like, music helps me sleep, and that's just the only song that
I also can't say shit because I listen to the same podcast episode like at least 100 times throughout the year because it helps me go to sleep. And it's a financial podcast. It's a podcast about money. It's called Desperate Acts of Capitalism. Everybody should listen to it. It's really good. It's about money, marketing, and how it all goes wrong.
Respectfully, you are a nerd.
Respectfully, I take that as a badge of honor. I'm currently wearing a Dimension 20 pin. So I had an egg for it, my main bitch.
I need to get more pins. I just have one Critical Role one, but I'm not as much of a fan of as I used to be.
Okay, here. Favorite songs are in order. No, not in order. Are Drive. Okay, I love Drive so much.
Drive's good.
My Grand Plan, Killer Quest, Good Kid, and Put You in Your Place.
Yes. All the songs are good, but those are also good. But you should listen to the bonus tracks. The bonus tracks are really good. But Try is a good song because I'm like, wow, only gay people could sing this song. And it just goes back into my theory that Percy Beth is just a gay shit. Or a straight shit for gay people.
But yeah. It's been a good time. You should continue to reread the books.
I will. I'm going to finish them.
No, I mean like the other books too. Like here's
one. Not gonna lie. I've been thinking about doing maybe this year, maybe next year for the summertime, doing a Rick Riordan universe readathon, including
I was thinking that too.
Books.
I was thinking that too, especially when like the TV show is about to come out, or at least when we have like a date.
I think it would be fun to do it in summer, like make it like a summer camp. So it's like the the summer months. And it would be demigods, magicians, and Inhari, which are the ones from the Viking one. What's it called? Magus Chase.
Yeah.
And you would read a certain amount from each series, and then you'd read different Rick Riordan Presents books.
That'd be
and there'd be like different challenges for every group to do.
No, I love that. Okay.
That's so much effort though, so it might not even happen.
If you like recruit people to help you, because I just want to do this one readathon. Yeah, to see, but you want it to be your way, right?
Yes, I have a vision, and and it's not because I don't trust people. It's because I'm a control freak and an asshole.
No, I get that. Yeah, I did that readathon, the buddy readathon. It was so much work. I think I spent like 24 hours straight just working on it, and everyone kept asking if they could help me, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I did.
So you can't actually. No.
You're up at 5 a.m. Please sleep.
I pulled an all-nighter for that, and I was like, no, I don't need help. What?
My favorite is Elise being like, okay, everyone's gonna get their thing by this day, and then be like, actually, it's gonna be like around like noon later this week. And I was like, Elise, please let me help you, please.
Yeah, that's all I have for the series. Wow. I'll finish the book probably soon.
I'll start
I have work tomorrow, so hopefully I'll finish the book then.
Anyways, I guess that is it for us. Yeah. Thanks to anyone who joined. Hope you all enjoyed the book if you read it. Thanks, Andy, for your lovely notes. We very much
always happy to help. I feel like this particular stream has been extra chaotic.
Yeah, yes. But it was good.
I'm looking forward to Dorothy Must Die because when I read it, that will be my time to shine.
Yeah, if anyone
passion.
If anyone wants to join us for Rewind Book Club for this month, January, our book is Dorothy Must Die. Dorothy Must Die.
I can literally see it on my shelf.
I'm finished half of it. That is all I've been able to read.
It is my pick for this month because I was ambivalent to it when I first read it, but I read the entire series.
No, did we lose? Oh, no. Did we both, or it was one of us? But yeah, I'm only at page 7, but I've added more notes, and this already had notes from my first read.
It's weird because it's like it's not good, but it's like strangely not.
There's fascinating lore. The lore of it is fascinating. Like the history of it, amazing. We'll get into it when we get into it.
Especially the author's relationship with reviews.
That's just a little preview of what's going to happen next month. Catch us on the flip side.
Woo! All right, thank you, everyone. You all have a good day or night or evening or afternoon.
Wherever you are. Great day. Bye, y'all.
Take care. Goodbye. And awkward ending on never mind. Be quiet.